Bellevue Youth Link's Youth Involvement Conference 2018. I'm Christina, and I'm co-vice president of Bellevue Youth Council. We are really excited that you are all here. Please take a seat and we'll get started. I'm really glad to see that all of you guys made it. We have a turnout of over 350 people. But really, how many of you came because you get a free day off of school and time with your friends and free food? Yeah? Anyone?
I love it.
Well, we hope by the end of the day, you really enjoy the day and you're glad that you came because you really had fun. So you'll learn how to tackle your future and get involved and make a difference today. Every 2 years, the Bellevue Youth Council holds an all-city youth involvement conference to help teens develop leadership skills and share their voice in the community. How many of you attended the 2016 Youth Involvement Conference here at Maidenbauer? So quite a few of you. Later this afternoon, we want to hear your ideas on how to create a more caring city for youth. You'll decide what your top issues and concerns are. The priorities you choose from will become the Bellevue Youth Council's goals to work on for the next 2 years. We will be honored to have adults observing our conference today. They want to hear the concerns you have for your community.
Hi everyone, I'm Brooke and I'm the co-chair of the Youth Link Board. All right, now we'd like to find out what schools are represented here today. How many of you guys are in middle school? Wow, we got a lot. All right, so I'm gonna call out your schools and cheer when you hear yours. Who's here from Chinook Middle School? Woo! All right, Highland Middle School. You can do better than that. Highland Middle School. All right, Odell. Tillicum. And Tai. International.
Wow.
And let's not forget our high school students. How many are from Bellevue? Eastside Academy. Yay. Interlake. And International. Newport. Big Picture. Sammamish. And what about homeschool students and students from St. Louis, Sacred Heart, Lakeside, and Open Window schools? Okay, well, let's give everybody a huge shout out. Congratulations for all coming. And now I would like to welcome the first of our MCs, Eli Flores.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eddie Flores from Youth Eastside Services and one of your MCs today. We also want to welcome all the adults here today. Some are parents or teachers or youth workers. Will all the adults with us today please stand?
Oh, come on now. Woo! Come on.
Thank you for your support of the teens here today. Will all the people on Youth Involvement Conference Planning Team join us on stage?
They're probably working.
Yes, all Youth Involvement Conference Planning Team. The teens with me are all on the action team who planned this conference for you. We have been working every week since last September. We are all so happy this day is finally here. Okay, now we want to take a few minutes to explain how the conference will work before we introduce our two others MCs, Matav, Mahmoud Zadeh
Yes, it's good.
of Overlake School and Dominique Stevens from the A. Philip Randolph Institute and the Seattle Women's March. Dominic and I will MC the conference today and guide you through for a great event.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mahtab Mahmoodzadeh, and I'm the Director of Diversity at the Overlake School. It's great to be with you today. I want to share with you a little bit about how the conference is going to work, go through some logistics. You each have been registered for 3 workshops. So, and not everyone got into all the sessions they wanted to attend to because some of them were filled up, but they did the best that they could. The organizers did the best they could to make you get into a great session, and all the sessions will be great because you'll be in it. You've received a conference registration. It shows you the morning and afternoon sessions, and it's your guide for the day. Each workshop is 40 minutes long. The workshops are going to be right all in this building to your right and to your left. So you have about 5 minutes of space to go between workshops, and you'll very easily get there. And there's staff and adults to help you along the way to get to the workshop you're looking for. What you want to make sure to do is to be back here by 11:40 for lunch. You've got a packed day with lots of people coming to present and talk with you, so you want to be right on time when they get here. Throughout the morning, if you have a little bit of time between your walking from one session to the other, make sure to hit the resource fair. There's a lot of great organizations that are really invested in wanting to work with you and engage youth, so you have an opportunity to learn a little bit about them. As you know, the theme of the conference is Dear Future Self. Today, you'll learn lots of great ideas on how to plan for your future and tackle the business of making positive choices. I'd like to, again, for everyone to look at your registration sheet right now. Look at it right now, okay? So find your workshops, and look to see what color dot you have on your afternoon sessions. Okay, thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I believe that all these young leaders in here and the fact that you've taken time from your day, you can do so much better than that. Good morning, Bellevue.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. We give you what you give us, okay? So nothing but energy today, and I love it. I am Dominic Stevens. I am the King County Youth Coordinator for the Asa Philip Randolph Institute, which is a civic organization nationally. I was also a co-MC for the Seattle Women's March, and I'm honored to serve as the Community Engagement Manager in the City of Seattle in our Human Services Department. I'm delighted to be working with all of you all this morning and throughout the day. So a lot of things will happen. We want you to remember a couple of things, 2 things, okay, throughout the day. On your registration will be listed education, employment, safety, transportation, health, or recreation, that is abbreviated, okay? The assigned room number will be under your assigned topic. You will also find your topic's room number on the reader board outside of the room. Your colored dot tells you which room you're in. Please, please, please keep track so you know where to go today. And all those wonderful people with the black and gold shirts, adults and youth, raise your hands. Put your hands in the air real quick. They can help you out. And please don't be bashful of using your voice, all right? Now, it is my honor to introduce Helena Stevens, Family, Youth, and Teen Services Manager here for the City of Bellevue.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Morning.
So has that coffee kicked in yet? No? Who said no? Not really?
Not really.
So we'll have to get you a second cup. Okay, we'll work on that. All right, we're very happy that you're here. We are so pleased. It's amazing. We still have a line of people outside that are registering, but to have 350 of you come and tell us what you think today is wonderful. It's amazing. We can't wait to hear what you have to say. So want to give you just some information to help you through the day so you have a great day. We've been doing this every 2 years since 1990. How many people were even alive in 1990 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you. Good. Okay. So there's a couple of people I want to acknowledge. First of all, there's a woman who is out there helping people still get registered. Her name is Glenda Reel, and she is our administrative assistant, and she's the one who registered each and every one of you. So she's been amazing. And Patrick Alina, who's the coordinator of the Youth Link program. He's around here. Where are you, Patrick? Are you inside the room?
It's probably outside.
He's outside the room, so they're still hardworking. So when you see them today, that's Glenda and Patrick, tell them thank you, because they've just been amazing. Now I want to go over some things that you need to know. First of all, the restrooms are on this floor. And everything you need, breakfast, that second cup of coffee, lunch, everything you need is on this floor. So you do not leave the 4th floor today until 2:30 p.m. You stay, there you go. You stay on the 4th floor. Since the conference is full, you have to stick with your workshops that have been assigned to you. We are really packed and trying to squeeze everyone in. So please don't make any changes. If you have any issues, as Dominic just said, talk to someone in a black shirt. We will help you out and make sure that we answer all your questions. This gentleman right here with the long power lenses, his name is Regan. Everybody say hello, Regan.
Hello, Regan.
He is our photographer for the day. He will be taking your picture. When you see him, smile. Smile, so we can use it over and over again. Okay, so here's the safety and ground rules that we're going to go over today. Here's 2 things I just want you to remember. I want you to look out for each other. And I want you to be respectful to not only yourselves, but to our speakers and our guests. So look out for each other and be respectful. We are guests here in the Maidenbower. How many of you have ever been in the Maidenbower? This is your first time in the Maidenbower.
Right.
So it's a beautiful center.
Right.
I'll wait. It's a beautiful center, so we ask you to be respectful of all the property, everything that's in it. So no running, no horseplay. Take it easy in here. Be very mindful of where you are. Today we are here to share ideas and to learn from each other. So in addition to the respect, what we ask for you to do is to not have your cell phone on during the sessions. In fact, we ask you to turn your cell phones off right now. I don't even have my cell phone on me. So turn your cell phones off. If you've got computers, put your computers away. No headphones. And if you have backpacks, if you have personal belongings, keep them with you throughout the day. You are here, your mommy and your daddy are not here today. Today, I'm your mommy and your daddy.
That's right. I know, that's right. Scary.
Today, I'm it. I'm your mommy and your daddy, and I'm not going to be watching your backpack for you.
No, she's not.
So keep your backpack with you. Today is like any other school day, so there is no off-campus privileges, high school students. No off-campus privileges. So there is no leaving the conference and then coming back. If you have to leave for any reason, if there's any kind of emergency, any kind of urgent issue, or an appointment you had that you forgot, you must come talk with me. Remember, I'm your mommy and daddy today. So you have to come talk to me before you leave. You receive, because you're here, you receive community service credit hours for being here. The Youth Link program is a partnership between the City of Bellevue and the Bellevue School District, and so you receive community service credit hours. What that means is we notify your school this morning that you are with us. So your absence is noted, that you are here at the conference, and that gets you your credit. Now, here's some things that are obvious to you, but I'm going to say them anyway so that you know for the record that I said them. It goes without saying that this is a drug-free event. So no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco. I don't want to see no smoking in the hallways. That was a joke. Oh, maybe not. it's very important that what we say and how we talk to each other is very important today. We set the tone, so no swearing and no PDAs. I haven't seen any PDAs, so it'll probably be good. What are PDAs? Did someone say what is PDAs? Say it again.
Public displays of affection.
You got it. No public displays of affection.
Lord.
I'll wait. I'll wait. At the end of the day, we will give you an evaluation. We ask that you fill it out. It was really important to us because what we do is we use your ideas that we get from this conference for the conference we do in 2020. So that's the ground rules. You've been told. You stay on this floor. You're respectful to each other. You listen to the presenters and the guests. You treat the facility really nice. And you take good care of each other. All right? So with that, I'm going to say have a great time, have a wonderful day, and I'm going to turn it back over to the MCs. Thank you, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning again.
I had to step that up.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning again. For you all that just came in, there's a wonderful table right here, so please don't be bashful and sit in the back or something like that. So again, I'm Dominique Stevens, and I'm honored to be with you all today. And this is really an amazing opportunity for you all as young leaders. I got some opportunities like this growing up in Seattle, but I didn't really get a lot of these kind of opportunities to come and convene a mind of my peers, right? So I want you to think about, as the theme today is Dear Future Self, who are you now and who do you want to be 10, 20 years from now? We have a crucial time with our government, with our society. So I'm entrusting you all as a person in their early 30s and as a youth leader to steer where you want the society to go. Because what's going to happen is that when I am then 20 and 30 plus years, I'm going to be entrusting you all to me making choices for me, and I'm hoping that you will make the best choices possible, right? And so to that being said, how do you want to maximize your voice? That's the question for today. To your dear future self, how am I going to use the voice? It doesn't matter how small it is right now, or if we're not sure what it is right now. You'll be able to tap into that potential and allow it to grow and expand. I want to leave that with you. It's okay if you haven't found it just yet. That's what we're here for. That's what all the other folks, your fellow peers that help put this conference on, the adults that are here in this space, all those people and resources, they're here to help you maximize that voice. So I want you to think about today how you're going to develop that. Also, I want to leave some thoughts because Saturday is going to be a big march. Does anybody know what's going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Gun control.
I like that, yes. And you know what? I'm also saying in terms of maximizing your voice, you get to interpret some things as it is. So this young man said the protest thing around the shootings and stuff like that, right? And so that's a good explanation. Yes, I see a hand up. The March for Our Lives. So you were both correct, right? So here we are. We're in a society where we honor guns more than we honor lives. Isn't that right? It seems like. Do you guys feel that kind of way? Yeah. We are honoring corporations and big money and dollars and stuff like that more than what we need as just everyday people. Would you agree with that? Yeah. How about you wonderful people over here to my right?
Gentlemen.
How about y'all? How do you feel the society is leading your life to be right now? How about my friend in the hood in that fabulous North Face? Yep. How about you over there with your wonderful Under Armour? How are you feeling that your life is being maximized by your government right now? Do you feel like it is? Oh, quiet. Okay, how about over here? How do you feel that the person who's currently at the helm of this country is maximizing your life? Is he? Ooh. So then your moment is right now. Your moment is to start thinking about how you want to influence what you want your society to be like in your next 10 and 20 years. Because if I get crickets in the room and no one thinks that the person who's at the helm of this country is actually maximizing our lives, how do you show up to take over? That's what today is for. This conference has happened for 16 years and it's taken ideas and turned them into action. And it's come from you all and people who've sat in these seats before. So I want you to think about, regardless how big or how small that voice is, it doesn't matter where that level of idea is, that you all get to influence the change because I'm depending on you when I'm no longer able to do this. That I need your influence and your power and your wisdom. So this is kind of like a community agreement that we're going to show up and we're going to show out together. Do you see how beautiful this room is? All the different cultures and ethnicities that are in here right now. We need to work together. Can we do that, family? Yeah, I know we just met. I know it's like, who is she? I don't know, right? Everybody family to me, okay? Everybody's family. So I want you to think about that. Major movements in our history have all started by young people. As we're on the heels on the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, how old do you think he was when he started that movement, started conversations with his people? How old do you think he was? 20. I heard 20, 27, 30,
25.
50. He actually passed before he was 50, unfortunately. 15. He actually started when he was 15 years old. Who's under 15 in here? Raise a hand. There you go. Who's 15 plus in here? So what I'm saying is that together we get to do this and your moment is right now. So what we're going to do is that you're going to be aware of what's happening today. You're going to maximize your voice. That table over there in the back, I know those leaders right there because they're already organizing, because I see y'all chit-chatting. So that must be a strategic planning session that's happening right now, okay? I'm saying, I see it happening, okay? That table over there in the back, even though they haven't said very much, I know that they're writing out and thinking right now what they're going to talk about in their priority topic groups. So what I want to leave you with is, how will you maximize your voice and your ideas? What do you want to see turn into living action here in Bellevue and on the Greater East Side? And hopefully, and this is my plan in terms of why I'm here as a community partner with you all, is that we get to help all the young people in Washington State maximize their voice. That's what we get to do. So as we stand united tomorrow, as we're standing united today, and I hope that you all have found marches to go to in your areas around you, whether you decide to go to Olympia or you come out to Seattle at Cal Anderson and Capitol Hill, that you stand up and you show out, because these movements, the women's voting movement, the civil rights movement, and this movement right now against for gun control, it started with you all today. Think about it. How will you maximize your voice? How will you maximize it? And guess what? We will be here to support you along the way. Thank you. My honor to bring up my top.
Let me put this here. Thank you, Dominique.
You're welcome.
I'm happy for the opportunity to be here with you this morning. And I commend each of you for attending this conference. I don't know if this is your first Youth Link conference or you've been to the ones before, or if you're a seasoned youth activist. You're all here to learn together and to arise to the charge for a call to action to address the issues facing your community today. Whether it's in Bellevue or beyond, the forces of disintegration and polarization are right on track and working very effectively to push back the progress we've made as humanity. We need builders, we need peacemakers, we need social justice warriors, we need youth that will work tirelessly to address and dismantle the faces of oppression in whatever form it shows up. This morning, I have 6 tips, 6 short tips that I wish to share with you for your day-to-day and hopefully for your future. As you know, my role is that of a director of diversity, but it's not my job, it's my calling. And I came to find work as purpose because of my experience as a youth. I had the wonderful opportunity in my youth, when I was your age, to be engaged in sustained community service in action with members of the community and people who didn't look like me. Those were the most meaningful and happiest years of my life and formed the foundation for what I do and how I live and who I am. So this is where I learned as a youth to exercise my power, learn to use and utilize my tireless energy, and is where I learned to cultivate moral courage. So my tip number 1, are you listening? It's probably maybe my most important tip. Seize this time of your lives and don't waste it on transient matters. This period of your life as youth is very brief, and it can be astonishingly powerful. Don't underestimate it. Make yourselves fully concerned and invested with the needs of the age in which you live in, and center your energies on how to address them. As Sheryl Sandberg states, sometimes we're born into the world at a time when the world needs the change that we need to bring. So our task is only to get to work. You guys have hit the jackpot. If you reflect on the society in which we live in today, to be young in this time and this age is gold. Seize that opportunity. The theme of this conference is Dear Future Self. It's designed to help you focus on your goals and envision the kind of person you wish to be. But don't let that lofty purpose make you wait for adulthood to get into what John Lewis refers to as good trouble. So my tip number 2, make sure you get into some good trouble as young people. That's my tip number 2. The theme of this conference is set about focusing on your advancement. But I know the organizers know that your advancement isn't that can be achieved alone. Your individual transformation and growth is tied to our collective transformation and liberation. So tip number 3, to sometimes get to know your true self, you got to get out of your own way and focus your energies on doing good for others. That's how you get to set your future. As you gather to plant the seeds of your future self, remember the community of peers you have in this room. I have an invitation for you, which is my tip number 4 and tip number 5. For our students here today who are white, cisgendered, heteronormative, don't have immigrant status, are comfortable in the terms of their basic needs, I urge you to lead this day with humility. I urge you to lead this day with humility and a deep desire to listen and learn. Now I recognize that we're a complex being and we have multiple identities and there's intersectionality of those identities. But I have faith in you that you are capable to discern the places and spaces where you hold privilege. My tip number 4, in those spaces that you hold privilege, here today and every day, step back and make place not for others to have a voice at the table, but for their voice to be amplified again and again and again. To our African American students, Latinx students, indigenous students, immigrant students, students who are undocumented, LGBTQ+ students, our Muslim students who are gathered here today, my tip number 5, I ask you to stand up bold and step up and step out. You hold within you perspectives, realities, and understandings that will advance our humanity in ways in which our humanity desperately needs to advance. I believe our collective salvation rests with you. I hope to hear your voices permeate this space today and help give direction to the work that we're all charged to do collectively. May you all have the experiences that galvanize you to want to learn more and do more. And may each of you make connections to those who you otherwise would not make connections. So again, I invite you to step out of the little crew you have with the people that you came to the conference with and reach out across your identity, your school, and make connections. And finally, my tip number 6, hope is the greatest form of resistance. As the forces around you are going to get dark and going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, don't get me wrong. You need to find what creates hope in you, and you need to let that hope stand as immovable as a mountain, as the forces of chaos, of fear, of anxiety encircle you. That hope is going to sustain you. You have to cherish it and nurture it and keep in company of those who have hope like you, to understand you're not alone and that you're not done yet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Eddie Flores, and I'm here today again to just kind of, I guess it's a moment, a right moment to impact and kind of influence and kind of get you to maximize your voice and your creative leadership skills. And I'm here today to kind of speak a little bit about my truth and my experiences as an immigrant youth. For the past 12 years, I have worked and lived in the city of Bellevue. I have worked for LifeWire, LifeSpring, and Jubilee Reach, and have provided community services to students and their families. Currently, I'm working as a youth and family homeless prevention coordinator with Eastside Services. YES is part of King County's homelessness prevention initiative that is intended to prevent and divert children and youth and their families from becoming homeless. Through such initiative, we have ensured that 4,000 families have access to resources needed to avoid entering the homeless system and to remain a stable house over time. It has also decreased the number of children who suffer the trauma that homelessness can cause, which can affect the brain development. I'm also a member of Bellevue Diversity Network, or BDAN. BDAN provides ways to improve the city's ability to communicate, collaborate, and better serve Bellevue's diverse community. I'm confident my background and skills will help move forward the vision of creating a city that welcomes the world and recognizes diversity as their strength. It is my privilege to walk along students, families, and community service providers with commitment to love, listen, and learn. Why social services? I'm a first-generation immigrant to this country and currently a DACA or a Dreamer student. I came to this country at the age of 7, and at the age of 12, my father passed away. I was raised by a single parent. As a single Latina, my mother never seeks services to cope with the loss of my father, nor with the countless challenges presented by immigration, acculturation, making a living, and raising a family as a single parent in the United States. My family has faced adversity and happiness, as we are a diverse family of recent immigrants, disabled brother, and LGBTQ individuals. My family faced many obstacles and barriers by being recent immigrants to America. Through the year, I continue to face my own challenges in trying to assimilate, understand the culture, and new language. I faced challenges of losing my father and being raised by a single parent that worked every day at Los Angeles sweatshop, earning 4 cents for each piece she completed. Times were challenging, and as I look back, my life is not different from the life of any other immigrant family that decides to make America their home. My mother has always encouraged the value of pursuing a better way of life, working hard and pursuing and continue with their higher education. With the sacrifice and the inspiration of my mother, I have become my family's American's dream. I represent everything my family and other immigrants hope for, that their children become productive, successful members of American society. Just like in any other game, it takes more than just playing. In order to be better in the game, you must invest time, be persistent, respectful, kind, committed, and be able to lead. I believe that my family's experience, my challenges, and barriers is what has built my character. My ability to listen, understand, and relate to people allows me a privilege to walk along a child, a single mother, a disabled person, or individual that at times feel has no place in this ever-changing society. I'm currently interested in pursuing a degree in psychology, as I have come to understand that mental disorders continues to be a stigma in most of our communities. Many times, individuals don't want to be placed in a category or group where they can be looked down upon. I'm passionate in continuing my focus in working with diverse population, especially the Latino community. There's many factors why Latino families can conceptualize a mental disorder. Recent immigrants' families don't have an understanding of social norms or services that might be available in their communities. Language, education, economical, and legal places Latino families at a disadvantage. I believe that in order to change this notion, families need to be introduced to mental health disorders and services. Culture competence services and accessibility need to be available, helping families to become more informed and encouraged to explore any mental health needs. It's been challenging yet rewarding working with families that have been victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, homelessness, and many other social barriers. Homelessness and violence are only a few of the many barriers that children, youth, and their families continue to face. I feel that I have contributed and created an impact not only on children, youth, but what I call now my community. So today, I write, Dear Future Self, I'm confident my experiences, knowledge, and culture competency on many social issues such as immigration, domestic violence, homelessness, and LGBTQ will provide value to the city of Bellevue. So today, I encourage each and every one of you to raise your voices, use your creative skills and your creative leadership to create a better world, a better community where everybody can just pretty much be themselves and have the opportunities to become positive role models in our society. Thank you, and again, I'm very privileged to be here today. Oh. Now, it is my pleasure to get us on our way today, as I will also serve as your conference MC. I hope you enjoy yourselves so far this morning. Now it's time to head to your 3 workshops, and we'll see you back here in the main ballroom at lunchtime. Later this afternoon, we'll learn what your ideas are for a better Bellevue. See you at 11:40.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I know lunch in the community building is so lit right now. I know that is so great. Yeah, we have a Bellevue City Council member that is here to give you some remarks. So I'm gonna need you guys to eat your lunch and tap into the remarks that are about to happen. Can we do that, family? Yes. Okay, let's try it again. I need you guys to tap into our Bellevue City Council member and pay attention. Can we do that, family?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Eddie.
So let's welcome our Youth Link Board liaison and Bellevue City Council member Janice Zahn or Zane. Join us. Zahn. Thank you. Join us today. Before we have Council member Zahn come up and speak, I want to share some little known facts about the council member. Did you know that Janice Zahn joined the City Council in November 2017 after being elected earlier that month to fill the previously vacated position 5 seat? A long-time construction manager at the Port of Seattle, the council member wants to make Bellevue more strategic, regional, and communicative. She has lived here since 1994. Council member Zane prioritizes include managing Bellevue's rapid growth to address the increased tension between livability and economical vitality, ensuring more streets serve a variety of users and finding ways to make housing more affordable for all who want to live in Bellevue. She's also council liaison to the Bellevue and Issaquah School Boards and the Disability and Youth Link Boards. Believing in Bellevue's diversity, council member wants to ensure that the city continues its work to be more inclusive and celebrate the richness of its culture. Janice Zhang has also been a Girl Scout leader and participated with the PTSA. She has volunteered with the Sophia Way, an Eastside nonprofit that provides shelter for homeless women and immigrants from Hong Kong Councilmember Zahn has lived in Greenwich Crest neighborhood with her husband Dwayne and daughter Megan and Leah. She's an active member of the Aldersgate United Methodist Church. The council member has a master's degree in public administration from the University of Washington Evans School, as well as a Master of Science degree in structural engineering and mechanics and a Bachelor's of Science degree in civil engineering, both from the University of Washington. I really appreciate that council member has been supporting youth and teens all her life. Thank you, Council Member Zahn. And now let's give a big round of applause to Council Member Janice Hahn.
Thank you, Eddie. You know, as he was introducing me, I was looking around the room, and I have to say, the adults should be very, very worried. Because when I look around, your voices are our future. And to me, what does that mean? What does youth voice actually mean? And I'll give you something that I was thinking about last night when I went to a Bellevue School District session on what does racial equity mean to you. And what I clearly saw was parents had no idea what's going on in the school district and what kind of challenges students might be going through. Because when I think about youth voices, it's your stories. As we look at our society today, to me, it seems like what we're really talking about is, are we really sharing our stories so that adults understand? So when I was growing up, if you're brave enough, I just want to see a show of hands when you kind of hear these words and see if when you're growing up you heard the same thing. When I was growing up, these were the things I heard. Children should be seen and not heard. Respect your elders. You're being selfish. Look at all the sacrifices your parents made for you to do A, B, C, whatever it is. I do this because to me, the other thing that I want to share is when I was growing up, I remember thinking my parents had no idea of my experiences. How many of you feel the same way? I know my daughter's in the room. She's probably raising her hand too. And I realized, why is that? Why do parents feel like they know what's best? And why do students and youth think that parents have no ideas? And I realized maybe over time, society has said that youth voices don't matter, that parents should know the best for their kids, and that ultimately when youth speak, you aren't getting heard or you don't have the respect for your opinions. How many of you see that? How many of you think that? No? Okay, well then, because if you think that your voices are absolutely being heard and understood, then I think that our world would be a completely different place. And my sense is that now, more than ever, youth voices are coming forward and sharing those stories so that we can actually envision a different space. I understand that the topic of today was a dear future self, right? So I was kind of thinking about, well, what does dear future self look like? So I'll share a little bit with you. I'm 52 years old. I came to the States when I was 10 from Hong Kong. If somebody would have told me when I was 10 years old coming to the United States that I was going to become an elected official in the city where I live and that I was going to have 2 master's degrees and I was going to lead construction management where I have overseen several $1 billion worth of construction, I would have laughed at them because my English wasn't very good. I was one of the few Asian families living in Federal Way in a mostly white neighborhood where I stood out like a sore thumb. And I remember thinking that when we envision our possibilities, do we think broad enough for what's possible? Or are we hearing voices from other people that tell us what we're capable of doing and limit us? And I think that's very important because when I was growing up, I remember my mother, she was a nurse, so she says, you know, you should be a nurse, Janice. And I remember thinking, you know, Mom, I don't like needles and I really don't like blood. So that is probably not something that I was going to be aspiring to do. So as I think about your time here today, think about what you're passionate about and how you might decide where you fall in your contributions to the community and where we are going to be going. So as you think about your Dear Future Self letter, are you thinking about how you're going to be showing up in the world, how you will make a difference, what being a team member is going to look like, what that future job is that may not exist today? Who are the partners that you're going to have on this journey? And if you see an injustice, are you going to see something and say something? And are you going to have allies around you that is going to be supporting what you want to do, whatever it might be? So as I understand it, you've got several things that you're going to be talking about this afternoon. Safety, education, employment, health, transportation, recreation. To me, those are all elements of a livable city. So what part of that do you want to be part of that story? And where are the stories that you have that you can contribute? What are those ideas? Because I think at the end of the day, the world is changing. And it's in a place where the problems that we have are not going to be this binary solution where 1 + 1 = 2. It is going to be sticky, and it's going to be challenging, and it's going to take all the voices at the table to be able to envision the possibility to move it forward. And to me, as youth, you are in the best position to do that because hopefully society has not imposed so much of the limitations that you believe all the things that you can't do versus here are all the possibilities for you to make your voice heard and move forward. And I hope that as we move forward that you'll be willing to share some of your Dear Future Self letters with me because I'd love to read them because I genuinely believe that if we are not hearing your voices as our future, then we are missing out on a huge opportunity to be the best Bellevue country in the world that we can be. So thank you very much for being here. I am so excited to be your Bellevue City Council liaison and to imagine what we can do together. What is the next thing that Bellevue is going to have? Because as I understand it, the teens for the last 28 years that the city has had this conference, that has enabled the city to have skate parks, teen center, recreational center, the challenge course. So what are the other things that you see that are gaps in our city that you would say we absolutely need to step in and do something about that? So thank you very much for being here and inviting me to be a speaker. I look forward to staying for lunch and hearing about the other keynote speakers. Thank you.
Round of applause for Councilmember Janice Laan, please. Am I on? Testing 1, 2. Mic check. Okay, there we go. Cool. How's lunch? All right. You said it was just okay? What kind of, you got a personal chef at home? Oh, I was gonna say, because this was some good food. Okay. Next time we'll tap into your mom, okay? We'll try to work that out. Excuse me. All right, that was wonderful. So want to make a couple of notes. This food is brain power, right? So it's not time to take a nap. It's not time to run in and out to do anything else. The food has now been put up, unless you need to use the restroom, of course. But we want to be attentive to our speakers as much as possible, okay? We want to be attentive to our speakers as much as possible, okay? All right. That means you're keeping the chatter to a minimum, you know. Now, when I was y'all's age, I didn't have a cell phone, and when I wanted to get a message to my colleague, my partner to the side or whatever it was, I wrote a note, okay? Old school, pass a note, all right? Keep the chatter to a very, very minimum. Please respect your leadership and the leadership that's in front of you already. Okay, can we do that, family? You know, I do like the East Side. You got some amazing things going on. But I want to say that your time on response is a little, I don't know. So as with all these youth leaders, I'm pretty sure that we can be a little bit more vocal. So family, can we give our leadership, respecting your time and theirs, a little bit more respect? Yeah. And that's why I come over to Bellevue on a regular basis. I like that. Okay, let's keep that going. So now, I have the privilege of introducing two young leaders. Rhiannon, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I apologize, okay? Rhiannon Ragged, say it again, say it for me. Rasenretnam. Okay, so this is leadership in action. I can be honest to say that I really don't want to mess up her last name or her first name, okay? So I want you to say it for me. Come to me. And we're gonna just be, because what we do, Washington, I want you to actually both come up here. Come on, both. Washington, we live sometimes in a silo, and we don't know how to build community, and we don't know how to ask forgiveness or permission or give space for that. So I don't want to mess up your name. So please, 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 is testing 1, 2? Please say your first name for me.
Rhiannon.
And your last name.
Rasaretnam.
I like it. Thank you so much. And this is Amelia Allard, right? Yeah. Yep, got it. So you gotta stay up here. You may have seen them over the past month as they've been coordinating the March for Our Lives Seattle movement and have been everywhere. In Olympia with Governor Inslee leading school walkouts and getting ready for tomorrow's big march with over 30,000 people signed up already to march. Oh, that's pretty impressive, okay? So let me tell you about them. Rhiannon is a 17-year-old senior at Tamaha High School in Maple Valley. After the contentious presidential election in 2016, Rhiannon joined a new club at her school called Activists for Change. Being a student of color, this club has helped her realize the importance of civic engagement and intersectionality. For Rhiannon, this #NeverAgain movement isn't just about the severe need for gun control in our country. It's about the power and ability of youth to rise up and demand change when Congress and other officials fail to act. She wants to help our peers find a way to make their voice heard right now, just like you all. All right, thank you. Instead of waiting for the ability to vote. Amelia Allard, am I saying that right? Allard. There you go. I'm putting extra letters in there, huh? Making it grand. I love it. It's still grand last name, okay? Recently turned 18 and attends Ballard High School in Seattle. Amelia has always been involved politically, attending marches, rallies, and protests, but it wasn't until she attended the ACLU 2017 Summer Institute that Amelia realized how important it was for youth, especially underrepresented women, to be involved in the political arena. After the Institute, Amelia focused more on the healthcare side, volunteering at Seattle Children's and the women's rights through being the sole girl on her school's football team, all right, and volunteering with Planned Parenthood, and came back to her roots to work for tomorrow's march. For Amelia, the #NeverAgain movement symbolizes the start of a new chapter where youth stand up for themselves and refuse to let another tragedy occur at the hands of complacent elected officials. When Amelia started March for Our Lives Seattle, she did so because she needed to know that she had done everything in her power to ensure that schools are no longer at a place of fear, but instead filled with hope and learning. Now it is my pleasure to bring out Rhiannon and Amelia. Please give them a round of applause. Awesome. Real quick, like I said, we're not gonna do too much chit chat as they're talking, all right? So let's pay attention. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us. You don't have that much of a choice, but hopefully this will be fun. So like she said, my name is Rhiannon Rasaretnam. I'm 17 years old, and I attend high school in Maple Valley at Tahoma High School. So again, I joined Activists for Change because I thought that there needed to be a venue in which I could express my thoughts and my feelings, especially as a student of color in a predominantly white community. Through this club, I actually was able to apply for the Washington Legislative Youth Advisory Council. Has anyone heard of that? A couple kids. And essentially, this was a council where youth would meet to talk about bills that specifically impacted us and decide whether or not we wanted to support it. And then we would have an action day at the end of January in which we would head down to the Capitol and we would lobby legislators and try to get them to support bills that we thought would benefit us. So this experience made me realize how much power the youth have even when we can't vote, because you can still meet with your legislators and they're still held accountable to you because you live in their district and they need to represent you and your views. So both Activists for Change and the Legislative Youth Advisory Council helped me to build this foundation from which I was able to do my work with the March for Our Lives organization. So I'd like to pass it over to Amelia, who's the other co-founder for March for Our Lives Seattle.
We're clapping, okay.
I'll take it.
So as previously mentioned, I attended the 2017 ACLU Institute over in DC over this past summer. Outside of doing that program, I've always been kind of involved, obviously, with politics and all of that, like attending marches, rallies, protests. But I don't have anything quite as fun as Rhiannon. But so yeah, going to DC and kind of, you know, being able to like say that like, oh, I went to the White House, I did all this, I'm meeting with all these different like senators and all these people. It really, for me, made me realize that I needed to be involved in politics and that this was an important opportunity, especially as a woman. Obviously, we have a lot of white men leading our political sort of scope here in the country, but I think kind of broadening the representation was a big thing for me. So when I came home over the summer from the Institute, I was ready to change the world, and nothing really happened. I kind of just sat around, talked about change, read a lot of books, didn't really know what to do, and then, you know, we just kind of started the March for Our Lives thing, and, you know, kind of just went from there.
Yeah, so has anyone heard of March for Our Lives? Raise hands. Oh, perfect. Okay.
I've heard of it.
So for anyone that might be out of the loop, March for Our Lives was a movement that was started by the survivors of Parkland after the shooting occurred, and it's basically a call to action for students across the nation to stand up against gun violence and not allow for our schools and communities to be plagued by something that could easily be prevented with meaningful gun legislation. And so when I first heard about Parkland, it wasn't something that impacted me as much as it should have. I just saw tweets about it, and I felt bad for those that had died, but it didn't really strike home because for me, mass shootings in schools is something that's become normalized. But it wasn't until I heard my sister, who is in 6th grade, telling my mother the next day for school that she was afraid to go to class because she didn't want to be killed. And that's something extremely heartbreaking to hear an 11-year-old girl saying that they don't want to go to school to be educated because they're afraid that someone will come in and shoot them or their classmates. So this is what made me realize that this is not something that these young students should be accustomed to, having these mass school shootings. And so what my work here is to ensure that this future generation of students, including you guys and all your younger siblings and sons, daughters down the road, aren't growing up with these news of school shootings happening around them and not being afraid to go to school because someone might come in with an assault rifle and either kill you or your classmates or your teachers. So,
Yeah, similarly for me, I remember now, on the day that the Parkland shooting happened, I remember I was just on my phone, you know, as I am in class, and I just saw the notification on Facebook or whatever about, like, they didn't have, like, the counts or anything. It was just, like, the breaking news, like, there's been a school shooting. And nothing about that seemed different for me. My only thought was, well, I wonder how many people will die this time. And then I just put my phone away and, you know, continued. And I think just that alone was a little, I think it's sad to think that that's what our country has come to. But after that, I went home from Parkland, not from Parkland, but from school after hearing about Parkland. And I had a conversation with my mom, which sort of led to starting this whole thing. But we were talking specifically about what would we do, like as students. At home, I have 4 younger sisters. And since obviously I'm a senior, I only have like 2 months left of school. So my life, obviously, I'm at a certain risk, but not the same risk as my younger sisters, 2 of whom are in 1st grade, and then the other 2 are in 4th, 2 sets of twins. But so the conversation kind of shifted away from what would I do and what would, like, my brothers, because I have older brothers as well, like, what would we do, to sort of, well, what about my younger sisters? Specifically, my younger sister, Charlotte, has autism, and for her, that means that she doesn't react to stressors in the same way that like your average child would. For her, that means that if there were to be a school shooter, she can't just sit quietly and hide in the corner in a cubby or under a desk. And so I think coming to terms with the realization that if there were to be a school shooter in my sister's school, that not only would she have those barriers stacked against her, but it would stack like the barriers against those other 30 kids in that class. Because obviously if she's yelling and not able to stay quiet, then yeah. So I did it because I needed to know that for Charlotte, that she would be safe.
So we want all of the students to join us in Seattle tomorrow for the March for Our Lives, because this is not something that just impacts us. It's something that impacts our classmates. It impacts the students that are coming after us, and all the, you know, just think of all the young kids that are going to school. They're having to sit through these active shooter drills, and they're trying to think about, like, what's the best way to hide if there's a gunman outside their door, which of their classmates might be shot, because you can't fit 25 kids into one corner. So this is all about ensuring that this is a conversation that we will never have to have again, because, again, you are all students. You want to go to school to learn, to be with your friends, and not have to have this fear hanging over you of someone coming in and harming you.
So yeah, logistics for tomorrow. The march starts at, we have a rally at 10 a.m. We'll have speakers and all of that. The march starts at 11. We'll start at Cal Anderson, march to Seattle Center, where we will have other speakers as well. I don't think we're supposed to give specifics on who's speaking yet, but yeah, it'll be great.
So I'd just like to ask a question. Could you raise your hands if you participated in the walkouts on the 14th? Oh my God, awesome. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but I hope that you're all happy that you all walked out.
Quiet voices, children.
Okay, so how much time do we have? I was gonna do a quick interactive activity, because I feel like you guys have been sitting around a lot today.
We know you're bored by us. It's okay.
So first, I want you to stand up if you've ever had an older sibling tell you that you can't do something because you are too young. Okay. That's a big chunk already. All right. Next, so stay standing. But I want you to join the people that are already standing if you ever had your parents tell you that you can't do something because you are too young. That would be me.
Are we supposed to stand?
Okay, so this is, I would say, the majority of the kids here. Now, stay standing. Join them if you've ever had any adult tell you that you are too young to do something. Any adult, teachers, not president, principals.
Coaches.
Yeah.
Football.
Awesome. All right. The reason that we are here is to tell all of you who are standing up that you are never too young to do anything. I don't care if you're in elementary school, middle school, junior high, high school. You are standing because you've been told that someone told you that, because you've been told that you are too young to do something. Almost all of you walked out, even though I'm sure you've heard from parents, teachers, friends that you shouldn't. And so this movement is all about fighting that kind of apathy from youth and fighting this stigma around youth that you're not able to do anything because you're too young. You can sit down, by the way. Forgot to tell you that. And so, you can, wait, hold on. And so, for all of you that stood up, I want to see you marching tomorrow in Seattle, because this is something that you can fight against. You can hold your elected officials accountable, and you can make a difference, because all of your voices combined together, all of you marching in the streets will draw attention, and you'll be able to show both all of our legislators in Washington and the elected officials around the country that you are no longer allowing them to risk your lives because of their inaction. We want you to join us, because this is no longer about adults being at the front, adults trying to change things, even though they have the power to do so, they haven't. This is about you taking control of your lives and showing that you can make a difference. So we would love to see you join us in Seattle tomorrow at 10 a.m. and show the rest of the world that all of you, every single one of you here, has the power to make a difference. And hopefully, if you ever ask the question again, if that adult has told you that you cannot do something because you're too young, that's not something that you would have to stand up for anymore. So I would love to see you in Seattle tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry? Yeah. Should we come down? Oh, yeah. So
Q&A.
Yeah, we're going to open it up to a little bit question and answer. So if you'd like to know anything about the march, maybe how to get more involved in your community, we would love to answer some questions. And we'll do random ones as well.
I love random questions.
Where does the march start?
Cal Anderson Park in Capitol Hill.
Yep, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Take public transit.
Yes. We also have a Lyft code. Actually, I guess it's too late for you guys to RSVP now. But yeah.
Do you have to sign up for it?
No.
Nope. We do have a Facebook page called March for Our Lives Seattle, and it's helpful for us to plan if you're able to mark yourself as going. But I know Facebook isn't like the hip social media anymore, so
We also have an Instagram and Twitter.
Yep,
And Snapchat.
Yeah, just search March for Our Lives Seattle and you'll find it.
If you can't make it to the march, what else can we do?
That's a great question. So at the march, we'll be announcing several different ways that the youth of Washington can get involved. One big thing is that you can contact your legislators. If you just look up Legislative District Finder, you can see exactly who your representatives and senators are. Send them an email saying that you are tired of the fear of gun violence happening in your schools and your communities, and tell them that, even if you're not able to vote right now, you'll be able to vote in the future, and you'll be watching who supports you and who doesn't.
Also on that, if you are going to be 18 before the next election, registering to vote is a big one. There will be 4 million youth eligible to vote in the 2018 election, and we need all of those voices to be heard.
what kind of gun control is the march proposing? Like, what do you want?
We have a
Congress to do?
list.
So one of the things is that we would like to see the age being raised from 18 to 21 in order to purchase a firearm. Another one is banning of high-capacity magazines, and what these are accessories that allow weapons to fire more rounds than they were originally designed to shoot. Another one is passing legislation that ensures that teachers will not be armed in schools, because this is something that, you know, the issue of gun violence cannot be solved by spreading more guns around society, and we need to ensure that our schools are safe, and we can do that without giving teachers guns.
Yeah. Also, if you go to our website, marchforOurLifeSeattle.com, we have a list of our call to actions, and it includes more on what we are going to be looking to accomplish after the march.
How did you get your voices heard in the first place?
I guess we just got lucky. You know, when we started, I started off by making an Instagram on like President's Day. So I think that was like the 19th. And then the same night we made the Facebook event. And from there, I was looking through like my camera roll the other day, and I noticed that by 2 days after we started the Facebook event, we had 16 point something K interested or going already. And I think our voices being heard, it matters less that our voices were heard, but it matters more that we have that support in our community, because without the community's response, we wouldn't be doing anything. So yeah.
How did you react to people that disagreed with you?
This is a really fun one. Oh my God, I love this one. So I think in person, I think we've only had maybe 1 or 2 people, but online, they are so much fun. I'm told that I'm not supposed to like reply to like because on Facebook, if like Cairo and King 5 and Como like post our news stuff, which like they do a lot, which is, I get to like read through the hate comments, but it brings me a lot of joy. I don't know why. It's a fun pastime.
Something that I would love to see more of in the future is the ability for people from different sides of the aisle and different sides of the issue to be able to come together and discuss what they believe in, because oftentimes with like the comments online, it's hard to respond to that and have a thoughtful debate, because usually emotions are accelerated and you don't get a lot of good points in. And so I think the best thing is to first, if someone disagrees with something that you're saying, give them an answer from your heart first, and then back it up with facts. If you start out with facts, if they already disagree with you, it's unlikely that they'll, suddenly be turn around because of the facts. But just always, at least what I try to do is just say how you truly feel, and then show that there's ample amounts of evidence behind you to support what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's okay to just table the conversation, because you're never going to get everyone to agree with you. But if you've had that conversation and you've said like, well, this is why I believe this, and this is the statistics, and these are the facts, and they're still not going to kind of agree with you, then it's okay. So yeah.
Can't you just use the idea of shutting down all the gun stores in local areas? Tell them that we'll shut your store down unless you move your store to someplace needed, like an army base or something.
As fun as that sounds, we do not want to ban all guns. That's not what we're looking to do. We have very specific sort of goals, and we do have the fun, Constitution. It's never our goal to shut down gun stores, just to limit which sort of guns people can get and which age they're able to do so.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 more questions. I saw a hand over here, and there was a hand in the back first. And then Councilmember Zahn actually has a response on some direct action that you can work with your councils. But we're limited on time, so we're going to make these questions real quick and her response real quick as well, okay? Please stand up.
Are you scared of people hating on you and that stuff?
I thrive off of it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, this is a contentious topic and it deals with some heavy matter. So I think the biggest thing to realize is that we're all here to ensure that lives are safe. I think everyone can agree that we want to protect students' lives. How we disagree is the way to go about doing that, and I hope that in the future we can have more conversations and find solutions that work for everybody.
How can we change the way? Oh, okay, sorry. How can we change the way our community and our school reacts to this?
I think one is just by showing up to, like, a lot of you participated in the walkouts. Hopefully all of you will be showing up at the march. It all starts with the youth and showing that you are passionate about something, that you're educated about something, and you are the ones that are going to be leading the future. So just remember that even though you might not have the support that you want right now, just try and engage your friends and peers in thoughtful conversations and debates. And you don't need to try and change anyone's minds. Just make sure that whatever you believe in, you're putting it out there and showing that you have something that you're dedicated and passionate about. And if you carry that with you into your adulthood, then you'll be that supportive adult community for the future generation of kids that are growing up.
Mm-hmm. So let me just say a few things about civic engagement, because you heard about going tomorrow and doing the march. Here's what I would say to you. The Bellevue City Council, as well as the Bellevue School District, I don't know if you're aware of this, every time we have a public meeting, there are usually about 30 minutes where the public, anyone, can come up to the mic and speak for 3 minutes. When you think about the collective power of your voices, I would encourage you to show up at City Hall and make your voices heard, share your stories, because adults don't have all the answers. And what you're hearing here is that there's all kinds of different ideas about how we keep schools safe. What we need is to hear from the youth about what are your ideas. And I would say that show up at Bellevue School District meetings, show up at Bellevue City Council meetings, and tell us what your thoughts are. Because if you don't, it'll be like the parents that think that we know best what you need versus you sharing with us those personal stories that help us with getting the best policies. Because at the end of the day, it is about what they talked about, which is at the state level, but it's also local. There are things locally that we can do, but we need to hear from you that this is something that you find important. Because if we don't, we'll just think that, you know what, we'll just wait for the state to do something and we'll just merrily go along and work on the other things that we've already got priorities in. So hopefully we'll see some of you at City Hall. Thank you.
Hi, you guys. My name is Ananya Jain, and I'm part of the YouthLink Board and Council. And we just want to thank Rhiannon and Amelia, and also Councilmember Zahn, on behalf of the entire YouthLink community. So if we can get a round of applause for all of them, please. Thank you. And can we also get Councilmember Zahn up here, please? We have something for you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you again. I'll take that. Thank you. You got it, bro?
So inspiring. I mean, it's just wonderful to see young women just kind of leading us into the future. Thank you so much, Amelia and Rihanna. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing what it means to stand up and to matter. It takes real courage and strength, and I want to thank you again. Now it is time for you to stand up and share what you think. So are you with us? Are you with us in standing up for change? Are you? Yes. All right. So please look at your registration sheet and find your assigned abbreviated topic on your colored dot. So start looking at that right now.
Hold on. We didn't say get up and move. We didn't say that. You know, part of dynamic leadership is also effective listening. So we didn't say get up and move just yet. So just have a seat, pull out your registration forms, or reference your name tag. Go ahead, Eddie.
So you will find the topics of these assigned rooms. Blue is for education. That's going to be in room 401. Pink is health. That's room 402. So yellow is employment, room 402. Pink is health, room 403. Green is recreation, and that's room 407. Brown is safety, that's room 408. And red is transportation in room 409. So again, check your registration form for your assignment. Staff and volunteers will help you out.
Yep. All right. Check your registration, head to your rooms. It's time for our breakouts right now. Thank you so much. If there are adults in the room who want to know how we can support our youth leaders, specifically around the March for Our Lives, we are meeting in room 303. If there are adults that would like to know how we support our youth leaders around March for Our Lives, we are meeting in room 303. That is only for adults. All our youth leaders should be on the 4th floor. If you're not sure where you're going, look at your name tag, look at your registration form, and the name of the topic is outside your room. All right? So for you guys that had questions and were still trying to figure out what to say or wanted to get your voices heard around the safety or whatever it is, this is the time that you get to speak out and show up. All right, thank you. We got a couple of housekeeping things before we go into our next session. So this is the time that we're really going to make sure that we're tapping into our effective listening, and we're going to honor each other's space and time. And yep, space and time. Do it. I got some good ears, huh? You guys have come up with some really good priorities, and you had some really good conversations, right? And so it's time for y'all to kind of get settled and get ready. We got an hour, okay? You all have done amazing work. You've shown up. You've been present throughout the day. So the first thing I want you to do is give yourselves a round of applause. I mean, I think that you guys are pretty dynamic, right? I mean, you woke up, you got here, you guys look good, you smell good, right? I'm saying. This guy, that's between you and him. I don't know. But what I know is that you could probably do a little bit better of giving yourselves a round of applause. So let's try it again. Y'all have shown up, and I'm telling you, this is the great part. Like I said, you know, as we've been saying throughout this day, this conference has changed a lot of things in Bellevue for young folks. And a lot of the things that have turned into action, a lot of ideas have turned into actions. And we're going to go into that part. This is that time where you get to decide and influence what you want to do, right? But I'm going to tell you, we do got to set some community ground rules for this time, right? So I'm going to need you guys to really tap in and pay attention. Can I get my friends in the front? Can y'all? Yeah? We got it? Is everybody hydrated on that table? Okay. Okay. Oh, look, but you're going to... Are those goldfish? Let me get one. You ain't sure? Saying, let me get a goldfish or two. Thanks, homegirl. Appreciate it. No, I'm serious. I love goldfish. I'm saying. Everybody got that one snack that stops the whole thing, right? And you're like, for me, it's goldfish. So I'm saying, I like goldfish. So, are we about ready?
Can I have safety, the safety note taker come back to the table, please? Thank you. Safety.
So who was in the priority group for safety? Who took the notes? Oh, you guys didn't write down what your priorities? You did. She didn't come back yet? Okay, we'll find her. They haven't come back yet. Is that the only person we need? Okay. So, like I said, you guys have done some dynamic work. Do we want to keep moving forward? Would we like to keep moving forward? Okay, great. So you've done some dynamic work today, and we're going to continue a lot of that amazing work right now. So what an amazing day it's been. Once again, how's everybody feeling this afternoon? All right. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm so much better for my friend right here in the front with these goldfish. It's a thing. I love goldfishes. I don't know what that is. You can never take the kid out of yourself, okay? Stay true to the young person always, okay? Yep. So, and did you enjoy meeting Rhiannon and Amelia and hearing about the March for Our Lives? Yeah? Just a show of hands, how many people think they're going to be able to make it to Seattle tomorrow and show up? Maybe, text your homies, get a group text going on. All right? Yeah, I mean, I'm in my 30s, so yeah, I use homies. Get your squad together, whatever you guys want to do. Get over there safely. Take the bus. If you're already in Seattle, take the light rail or carpool because it's a thing. Okay. You guys are so turned up at this table. I love it. Please take one person. Take all this recyclables right here and put it in the recycling. I hate to get super elementary school teacher on the situation, but we're going to have to stop. Now, also, I have to say this too. I know that Bellevue loves to tap into these like dessert breaks in the afternoon, but I don't know that the cookies are happening at 1:30 any further because you guys are like sugar hyped. So what's going on? Yes.
So can we have the counters? Can we have the counters go to their sections in the room?
If you're a counter and you've been asked to be a counter, can you go to your designated area, please? All right, you guys are there? Cool. Can I just get a thumbs up? Cool. If you're in your spot. All right, so while they're getting settled, we'll keep moving. All right, this is what I need you all to do. Everybody quiet, please. Please do me a favor and cease the conversations. I've now asked twice. Thank you so much. As we're getting ready to shift to this really important section, I need you guys to go ahead, take a deep breath and exhale. Now, I need you to reflect quietly on what you're about to share, and I have one more announcement from the back. Go ahead.
I'm still waiting for safety. Please take the bottles down. Thank you. I'm still waiting for safety. Is safety around somewhere? Safety note taker.
Who took the notes for safety, you all? Hopefully we can find that person. Her name is Christina? Oh, you're like, don't take their advice? Okay. Okay, so wherever that safety person is, we're gonna find that out. I don't wanna delay this any further. That was cool, almost made it. Okay, almost made it. I can see everything from here, okay? But we're gonna limit goldfishing from flying in the air, okay? They don't do that. All right, so we're taking our deep breath. We're recentering ourselves. We're not talking right now. And what we're doing is getting ready to go into our priority setting session. That's what we're going to do. So welcome to your afternoon session on developing youth priorities. That's what we're going to do this afternoon, all right? Yeah. Telling you. This last session may be the most important for YouthLink, okay? We want to hear what you think Bellevue needs to be an even better city for young people, okay? And what's good for one community is good for all communities, all right? Also, another thing, I know that you all seem to be fascinated by these tiny water bottles. They're not that lit, okay? They're really not. Just drink the water and then recycle the bottles. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, thinking about another big movement that's being led, and we should be very, very fortunate that we have this water and all this wonderful thing, is that we do have a state and a city, Flint, Michigan, that still cannot drink their water, right? We're talking about things being changed and moved by young people, right? There's actually a city, there's places actually in Tacoma that the water is not safe. So I want you guys to really take into account how much this is an honor and a privilege right now, all right? So I'm trying to get you guys together because, you know, I'm trying to reduce the woman who came up here earlier to say that she's your mama and your daddy today. So just hang with me, all right? Can we do that, family? Okay, cool. Let's do that. All right, to move forward. Today, this afternoon, you will share your ideas about what Bellevue needs to be a more caring place for kids and teens. At past conferences right here in the Youth Involvement Conference, students told YouthLink that teens need a place to skate. And guess what? The skate park was built, okay? The idea for a teen hangout came from another conference, and that's how Ground Zero, also or now known as the Club Teen Center, came to be, all right? We just found out that the, quote, Kids Care Coat Drive won attention for some of our great programs like Teen Closet and the Bellevue Youth Court. And I want to champion Bellevue Youth Court real quick because I'm from Seattle, right? And a lot of our young people do not get an opportunity that if you make a faux pas in the legal system, right, or a mistake, that you get to go to a court of your real peers. In Seattle and other places around the state, they just throw you away, okay? And we don't want that. So Youth Court is a very dynamic program that I can actually be very transparent and say, I want to bring to Seattle because it's amazing. So the work that City of Bellevue does with King County is dynamic. So, and the work that you all are doing and YouthLink is doing is absolutely fantastic. And I can say without the shadow of a doubt, YouthLink rocks, okay? I'm for that, all right? Yeah, give it up for YouthLink. My table to my left over here, specifically my friend on his cell phone. Yeah, these eyes are good. I need you guys to pay attention because this is when you get to make the change. And if you do not maximize your voice right now, we might miss it, okay? Just need you to know that. So quick question. How many of you all been to a city council meeting here in Bellevue? Just show of hands. Put your hands up high, it's cool. All right, good to know. Just like Bellevue residents come to city council and tell us what they need in their neighborhoods, you have an opportunity to tell YouthLink what you need here today, all right? My friends over there in that back table, while you guys are having that strategic planning session, save it for the microphone because we all want to know what you're talking about, all right? All right, thank you. Okay, I got the okay sign. Got you. I want you all today to share your ideas and concerns. Bellevue YouthLink will begin working on making these ideas into realities, okay? That's why I really need y'all to pay attention and honor each other's time and space. With your help and involvement, we are ready to go. As you work on your ideas today, think of the children that will be growing up behind you too, dear future self. Some of your ideas can benefit your younger brothers and sisters. So my fellow MC here and I will help you stay on track, okay? So thank you all for being attentive and aware and awake and everything like that. What we've talked about today and what you've been learning in the workshops is now going to be put into practice. You get to be a difference maker, change agent, okay? You get to share your voice and ideas. You spent the last hour in small groups brainstorming ideas on what Bellevue needs for youth. Each room had a specific topic. The topics discussed today were transportation, health, employment, education, safety, and recreation, right? I so can't wait to hear what y'all's priorities are because it sounds so turned up right now. What's your name, my friend in the black hoodie? What's your name? You looking right at me. What's your name? My friend in the black hoodie sitting at this table with the gentleman with the blue hat. What's your name? Huh? Martiv? If you say it loud and enunciate, I can understand. Parton. You know what, P? I'm going to just call you P for short because I'm not going to keep messing it up. I need you guys to cease and desist the conversation until you get to the microphone. How about that? Because I need the folks that are all the way over here to also be the same respect that you're going to give them. Can you do that for me? You're my team leader at that table. I'm calling y'all out at this point, right? We got an hour. There we go. So, Eddie, you ready? I don't get nobody.
Okay, so I really want to apologize. I haven't been feeling that well this morning, but I am very excited, and I feel really privileged to be with you here today. So just bear with us. It's almost over, but this is one of the most important parts. So we're ready to hear your ideas. I heard you had a wonderful day of learning from all your workshop speakers, and I want you to know this work you're doing today is important. It will not only positively shape your personal future, but will impact the lives of children and teens for years to come. Speaking up and sharing your ideas and concerns is what makes a community function. What happens if no one speaks up? Decision makers and leaders in the community like those with you today need your input. So therefore, it's really important for them to hear your voices. The time you spend here today may also shape your future college and career choices. It's exciting and rewarding knowing that your work and your efforts are creating opportunities and positive changes for children, teens, and families. Like the students who work on this conference today, they see the amazing results of their months of meetings and planning, and over 300 of you are benefiting from this work. Good luck with shaping and sharing your priorities. I'm glad you're here, and thank you. So that gives context to what we're doing this afternoon. Okay, may I know? Have all the speakers from other rooms line up in the microphone. Bring your sheets up to the microphone and please form a line.
Yeah. So this is the time that if you were asked to speak from your priority group, either health, transportation, employment, education, safety, recreation, this is the time that you go ahead and come up to the microphone closest to you. Do we got everybody? I should have 3 over here and 3 on this side, however you guys want to do it. And support is cool too. How about I do this real quick? Transportation? Just raise your hand. Hey, all right. Health? Hey. Employment?
Here.
There we go. Education? Here. Cool. Safety? Here. All right. Yeah. And recreation? Do we have recreation? Okay, great. Great. So we have several teams that need to speak, and we need to be able to hear from them. So one, like I said, respect them, respect your time and yourself as well. You're not going to take any more than 5 minutes, okay? I will be transparent. I have my cell phone. It is not for checking my Instagram. It is for checking the time. Yes. Is there an announcement from the back?
No, can we start with education?
Okay. So we're going to start with education. You're not going to take any more than 5 minutes. I have a timer, okay, to share your group's top 10 priorities. Please, for everybody. Say your name, your school, and then share your top 10 priorities and why. All right, education going first. Are we ready? We'll be able to see education's priorities on the board. 5 minutes starting now.
Hi, my name is Erin Hong. I'm from International School of Bellevue. What we talked about in education was having more guidance in teaching curriculum, so having more consideration for those who aren't able to learn at the same pace as their peers and have more educational support programs. Also, different people have different learning styles, so we talked about advocating reverse classrooms, so learning like hard material at home and coming to school and asking questions, especially hard topics like AP Chem. Educate teachers on how to accommodate for the different backgrounds of the students. For example, like different family situations can affect a student's learning. Learning tools to upgrade resources so they are more accessible to students, so like online textbooks, and make curriculum more relatable to students. Old information is hard to absorb. And then mental issues, have more empathy for the students' mental health. And teachers should communicate amongst each other. Homework load concentrated on certain days. Teachers should connect with students more. And finally, teachers should teach with the intention that the information will be applicable to their future careers instead of just teaching AP tests, for example.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Wait, education, can you stay up here too? So are we voting now? They gave top 10. Can we put education back? Okay. So you gave your top 10, right? So what I need you all to do is listen. I think we're going to put our priorities back up there. Can you guys then give us your top 3? And then we get to vote as a body which one we're going to actually lead with, as I understand it. That's what the counters, are they here? Please raise your hands with confidence. There we go. So these people right here, they're going to count the top, how we vote for the top priorities. Okay? So let's see. Does that make sense? Am I confusing you all? Okay. So each group came up with 10 priorities. We're going to pick then the top 3, and then you guys get to vote out of the top 3, what is your number 1 priority? Does that work? Okay. All right, so can we all see this? All right, so education, what's your top 3?
So our top 3 is so upgrading resources so they're more accessible to students, and having different learning styles, so advocating reverse classrooms, and finally, making curriculums more relatable to students.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I heard number 4, number 6. What other number am I missing? Can you just tell me the number? And there's a screen too. And number 7. So 4, 6, and 7. That's our top 3. Can you all see that? Okay, you guys got a second? You saw that? Okay, now out of the top 3, 4, 6, and 7, how many would raise your hand if you advocate for reverse classrooms, educate teachers on how to accommodate for the different backgrounds of their students? Put your hands up for that one.
Counters should be counting in their sections and then giving me a total number.
The counters to my left, you guys good? Okay. Another thing with leadership is sometimes you have to ebb and flow. So what we might do, what I might ask the counters to do, so you're going to raise your hand. I would probably like the counters to actually touch the hand on your section, and then you could put the hand down. That would be helpful. So counters to my right, did you guys get them all? I still see some hands in the air. Did you feel like you got them all? Thank you. Yes? Okay, great. Counters to my left? Yeah? We can put everybody's hand down? Great, thank you so much. All right. Number 6, who would advocate for upgrading resources so they are more accessible for students? Examples, online textbook, making curriculum more relatable to students. Put your hands up for that one. And counters, touch their hands. When you touch their hands, put your hand down. Yeah, so the counselors on this side, I hope you guys heard me. Please touch their hands so their hands can go down, please.
Jerry. 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 Okay. Okay. Oh, we had ours.
We got it. Counselors, did we get them all? Great. Counselors to my right, do we got them? Okay, we good, counselors? Great, thank you. What happened to my priorities? I have one more priority. Please. That's okay. That's all right. Can you read number 7 again? One more time. Oh, wait, there it is. Thank you so much. And then lastly, how many people would advocate, is this right? Yes. So I was understanding it was number 7, right? Old information is hard to absorb mental issues. I don't understand that. Can we get a little context? Oh, it's a part of a different line. Is it 8? Is it 7 and 8 together? That's okay. Can you go ahead? Go ahead.
So number 7 was making curriculum more relatable to students. So like old information is hard to absorb.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, patience is key, I understand.
Can you repeat number 7, please?
Please
what
repeat
number 7 should be?
Making curriculum more relatable to students. Old information is hard to absorb.
So you want updated curriculum?
Yes.
All right. I love it. Sometimes we got to get simple for us adults because it's been a long day, right? I would agree with that, you know. But, you know, I will also advocate for history is key. We never know where we're going. We got it? It's good. Okay, so if you would advocate for updating curriculum. Yeah, so we have a follow-up question. Excuse me, over here. We have a follow-up question. We have limited time and limited energy, so let's hold tight. Yes, ma'am.
I think just like, I know like in classes like AP World History, we still have like the same old textbooks. And so, and they're saying like the same information. It's been years and years and we've been using that to teach us for years and years over and over again. So like changing how it like it's worded or, yeah. I guess.
Okay. Okay, one more quick follow-up before we vote because time is limited. Yes.
Well, no, because so like
I need y'all to just hold tight, man, I know y'all can do it. I know it might be hard, but you can do it. Yes.
So like updating the content and making it more applicable to like modern current events, I guess.
So it sounds like, as I understanding this, and I'm only paraphrasing real quick, okay, because we have to move forward.
I was just gonna say what it actually means.
Okay, real quick, honey.
So it's like actually like teaching the actual history, what happened in the past, because most of the textbooks is just a sweet part of our history, and they only teach us of the good things that happen, but they don't teach us the bad things that happen that we need to learn, because we need to learn of other like people who haven't like they're heroes, but like we're not being taught.
Okay, so it sounds like, because we need to vote, is that we need to update the curriculum because what it sounds like is that some books highlight the good parts of history and they do not address the bad parts of history, but we need all of it. We also need current topics. So how many people would advocate for having current curriculum built in with the history? Thank you so much. Counters, touch their hands so they can put them down, please. And we're going to expedite this. All right, everybody's been counted? Wonderful. Thank you so much, education. Give a round of applause for education. Thank you so much. We'll put those points up later. Okay, what topic group are we moving to next?
Employment, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm part of employment, and I'll start with our top 3. So our first choice was overcoming employers' negative bias against youth, race, ethnicity, gender, and sexuality. A lot of people in our group noticed that there was some discrimination against people of our age because people wanted, or the employers wanted people that were older or of different races. Our second priority was having classes in school that could prepare students for jobs and adult responsibilities. A lot of responsibilities come with having a job, such as taxes and finances, and we wanted to include classes in school that could prepare us for that. Our third priority is it is tough to get a job after college because we don't have enough experience. A lot of companies require you to have 2 to 3 years of experience in a certain field, and coming out of college, we don't have that, so that's one of our priorities. Our next priority are raising awareness of importance of youth having a job or having employment experience with parents, because parents don't always know that it is important to have job experience. Raising minimum wage in Bellevue, having more job opportunities for younger youth, ages 12 to 16, raising awareness of advancing technologies and encouraging employers and companies to adopt them, having a program such as once a week or a week-long program that can prepare students for a real job, and then also having a website that is specifically for youth to find jobs.
All right. So those are all the priorities from employment. Thank you so much. So as I think I heard you say, your top 3 we're going to do the top 3. Is
Yes.
the top 3 the top 3?
Yes.
Great. Wonderful. So we're going to vote again. All right, we ready? We paying attention? You guys read the boards? Let's do it. The top priority, who would vote for? Who would advocate for? Overcoming employers' negative bias against youth, race, ethnicity, gender, and sexuality. Put your hands up. Counters, touch them so they can put their hands down. Thank you. Are we good, counters? All right, thank you so much. Second round of voting. Are we good, counters? Yes? Great, thank you. Who would advocate for school classes to prepare for jobs / adult responsibilities? I wish I could vote because that was the thing that I would have liked.
Kind of want this one.
Huh? Sure, yeah, of course.
Well, we have personal finance.
And we have student store.
But it doesn't tell us like how to do taxes.
Personal finance is just because we like spent the first 2 weeks trying to teach us how to use a spreadsheet.
Great. Thank you, counters. Are we good? I see one more hand in the air. All right. All right, thank you, counters. Thank you all for voting. Okay, and then the last voting choice would be, it's tough to get a job after college if not enough experience. I can actually advocate for that one too. It is pretty tough when they're asking for 2 to 3 years and you've been in school the whole time, right? Yeah. These are some great priorities. All right, we got everybody in this one? Okay. Yep, did you vote? Okay. Cool. We're good? All right. All right. 5. Okay. We got to make sure you guys can tap into some internships and stuff like that. Thank you so much, employment. It's very helpful. Who would be next?
Health is next.
All right, and go ahead.
Okay, so
Wait, I'm sorry, pause. You guys, so much, we got a little bit of time. We're almost there. Please be respectful of your speaker and of yourself. Thank you.
so we focused a lot on obesity and the obesity crisis, but our first was changing vending machines in schools to be more healthy, and then the obesity crisis, an excessive use of drugs and alcohol around schools, anxiety and depression from caring about grades too much, PE curriculum change to provide more nutrition information. People are addicted to technology and don't go outside, so they lose the activity factor. Not enough sleep because too much homework. Schools don't give you enough food for school lunches because a lot of students leave hungry, and then not enough resources to help get information from mental health issues. And our top 3 are changing vending machines, the anxiety and depression from caring about grades too much, and the drugs and alcohol excessive use.
Okay. With drugs and alcohol, are we saying that people are
On school property.
Okay, so they're using it on school property,
Yeah.
but we don't really necessarily want to advocate for them not to use it at all.
Yeah, but like in general, it's like a big problem at schools.
Okay, got you. I mean, just real quick, how many people are 21 up in here? I don't know why any of y'all are drinking then. That's the thing. Kind of confused by that. Let's go with the top priorities. Changing vending machines in schools to be more healthy. Who would advocate for that? Put your hands up. They went with their top 3 priorities.
Can I sit down?
All right, we got it? Thank you so much. All right. Dealing with the obesity crisis. That almost sounds like a tie-in between the PE curriculum. Who would vote for, I would need more context around that, but we want to deal with the obesity crisis. She did say it was. Oh, okay. Sorry. Excuse me. All right. Got you. Thank you so much. All right, excuse me, I misspoke. So, drugs and alcohol on your campus or being used on your campus. Who would advocate for changing that policy? I don't know what schools are actually allowing you guys to do drugs and alcohol on school property, but see. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Number 4. I heard that. Yeah. Yes. All right. Do we got everybody, counters? You guys, one thing at a time, okay? Do we got them, counters? Thank you. All right, and then excuse me, number 4, anxiety and depression from caring about grades too much. You go? All right. Okay, counters, did we get them all? I got some 3 hands over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I'm curious about that anxiety and depression about caring about grades. Would you guys like push for a pass-fail system or something like that? You had to think about that. All right. Is number 7 a personal top priority for you? Okay. Oh, not enough sleep because there's too much homework. We're not going to vote on that one, but maybe as you join YouthLink, and if that is a pressing priority, we can move forward and have that conversation. What topic are we going to do next?
Before we do a topic next, I'm going to take a personal privilege.
All right.
Shh. In the room. Shh. In the room. First of all, these priorities are going to the city council. So make your decisions because not everyone is voting. I know the numbers in this room. So I expect everyone to vote, please. And the next topic is recreation.
Hello. So our topic was recreation, and our first priority was that we want more trails and parks that are accessible to the youth and less membership, or you have to get a membership to walk on them. We wanted more student discounts for people that couldn't afford them. Like if your school takes you to a camp or something, it's sometimes really expensive, and I know a lot of my friends can't go. Yeah, what? We want more places for teen-focused activities because a lot of places like Boys and Girls Club focus on the younger children. We want more clubs and sports in middle school and more promotion for them. Another priority was sports outside of school are really expensive, so cheaper out-of-school sports. We wanted more variety for kids to choose from because Jubilee partners with a lot of schools, but they usually don't have a lot of different options you can choose from. Boys and Girls Club should have more activities for the older kids. We want a roller skating or bowling place. We want more activities for older kids at Crossroads and activities for kids of all ages, a team recreational center with different activities for different skills, and a safe kickback space for teens.
Cool.
And our top 3 were more trails and parks, a teen recreational center with different activities for different skills, and a safe kickback place for teens.
So I heard you say number 1. What are the other numbers?
It's 1.
2?
It's 1, 9, and 10.
1, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so let's vote. Who would advocate for more trails and parks that are accessible?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Great. We got them? Counters, do we have them? Great. Wonderful. Who would advocate for safe hangout spaces for teens? Oh, that's a good question. So I need your attention real quick. There was a question. Someone asked, what would define a safe space for teen? Let's think about that, okay? As it's been mentioned by your leadership, this is going to go to city council. So let's be specific. Let's think about those things. Do you have a little detail? Just a little bit?
A safe place for teens would be somewhere where all teens can go that have different interests. So art, drama, sports, an arcade. A lot of different things that people in school are interested in aren't available at school. And I know that a lot of clubs don't get enough members to be a club. So it would be like a hangout space where a lot of people can go and do whatever they want.
That's cool.
Oh, and they can throw parties too. That was part of it.
Oh, and they can throw parties too. That's cool. And they're asking for it to be in downtown Bellevue. Okay? All right, I'm just the messenger. Cool. Number 10, free community centers with no memberships, like Boys and Girls Club needs a membership. Everyone should be able to join. All right, we got them, counters? All right, looks like your top priority is safe hangout spaces for teens. If you have something to add to that, you can tap into your YouthLink board. All right, what's the next topic area, please?
Safety.
Safety. Wonderful, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
He's got you.
Okay. Okay. Our first priority is fundraising to buy safety equipment for schools. And then our second one is better school counseling. And then our third one is early warning system for potential school shooters. And then the other ones are on the list. Yeah.
Those are your top 3 priorities?
Yeah.
Can you just read all 10 and then we can get into the...
Okay.
Yeah, we're
the
doing
other ones are security guards for schools, better education about safety issues, moderated discussions about safety, bulletproof glass, more safety exits for classrooms, and decreasing school workloads to lower stress for students.
All right, thank you so much, safety. So as I understood, your top priorities are fundraising to buy safe equipment for schools. Am I correct? Number 1?
Yeah.
Number 2, better school counseling.
Yeah.
And then number 4, early warning system for potential shooters.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's go. Who would vote for fundraising to buy safety equipment for schools? We're not going to be able to answer it now, but the follow-up question to the safety team was, what is safety equipment?
Okay, so safety...
So wait. You can't answer it, I just said. I need you active listening. So just think about it. The question was, though, what is safe equipment? What is safety equipment? Think about that as you're developing this for your council, okay? Did we get everybody counted for the first one? Yes? Okay. Number 2, who would advocate for better school counseling? Thank you. No, it's all good. Thank you so much. All right, counters, did we get them all? All right, then who would advocate for an early warning system for potential shooters? Did we get everybody, counters? Yes? Fantastic. All right. All right, looks like the top priority would be better school counseling. That's fantastic. So, I think that was our last topic area. Oh, wait, one more? I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Transportation.
Transportation. Sorry about that.
Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about transportation and the issues we have with it. Dealing with transportation, we should look at more than what us as youth face, because we also have traffic congestion that adults also face, and we should look at problems we all need to address. So the first we have is more transportation in secluded areas, specifically for each school. Second, we have additional funds into more bus routes. Third, more parking spots at school. 4, increased frequency of school metro routes. 5, adding electric carports at schools. I think 6 would be an additional HOV lane on 405. Now, this isn't specifically for Bellevue, but this is also for all cities near on the western area of Washington, because we definitely see a lot of people spending 45 to an hour trying to get to their jobs, and adding another HOV lane on that would increase carpooling and in turn hopefully reduce carbon emissions. I'll read off the list we have here. Also increasing bike lanes in downtown Bellevue and the greater Seattle area. That will definitely incentivize people to go outside more and to ride their bikes to get to places instead of just taking the car for efficiency. Next we have is increased fines for reckless drivers. This hopefully would reduce people from breaking traffic laws. Next is looking into tolling benefits and drawbacks. This would increase the city council's government revenue to spend money on other things like recreation. Next we have is reduce logistical challenges for student drivers. This is a problem that arises a lot in our current high schools. Another one is to add technology in bus routes in order to improve efficiency. We have heard a lot of complaints from metro drivers or from metro users that the timings don't line up to what they see on the signs. So our top 3 is increasing increasing bike lanes. The next one is another HOV lane on 405, both south and northbound. And our third one is increasing bus funding for high schools and middle schools, including Metro as well, if we can add that in.
Okay. So who would advocate for, it's time to vote, increasing bike lanes? What are the other 2 numbers again? HOV. Got you. Cool. Thank you. All right. Do we have everybody, counters? To my counters, do we have everybody? All right. Who would advocate for increasing funding for more buses and more bus routes? All right, did we get everybody? Fantastic. Okay, and as I recall it, the third priority would be more HOV lanes as incentives. Is that correct? Excuse me? Hey, family, I can't hear this one person because you all are chatting. We're almost done. Say it again, honey. Adding one more lane to 405. North and south. I didn't even see that up here. Yes. Who would advocate adding more lanes to 405? Is that what I heard? Yes. Is it number 6 or what? What is it? Oh, okay. I was going to say, if we're wrong, please tell me right now. Okay. Counters, did we get everybody? I see 2 hands up over here. Did we get them? 3 hands, 4 hands. All right. Okay. Looks like your top priority in transportation is increased frequency of school metro routes. Oh, that changed real quick. Like it. Increased spending, okay. Just hold that thought. I was, what I know, hold that thought. If there's extra context, then there are Youth Link members in here right now that you can give that additional context to, because that's what's gonna happen. So what's gonna happen next is the Bellevue Youth Link will publish this list of ideas in a report and share it with the city council, school district, youth agencies, and many interested groups that care about youth. The Bellevue Youth Council will take this list and use it to work on projects over the next 2 years. So if you have additional context, see a Youth Link member, okay? All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I would really encourage you, if you have any other ideas, please connect with a youth member. So many options, so many great points. What an incredible list of ideas you guys created. And before today, did you ever stop to think about how these issues are so important to young people in our community? So thank you for taking the time to share your opinions. You can make a difference by speaking up and getting involved. We are about to wrap up our day today. Did you enjoy yourselves? Yeah. Yeah, I want to hear again. So did you guys enjoy yourselves? Yeah. So let me turn this over to our host. And again, I want to thank you for being here today.
Wait, you have not been dismissed. You
Yes,
know,
I
you
have been
have not
dismissed.
been dismissed. No one said leave. I see you, bruh. Have a seat. We're almost done. Thank you. Almost.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Eddie and Dominique. We really appreciate your participation today, and we hope you'll consider getting involved with Bellevue Youth Link or one of our action teams. Before you leave, we want to know what you thought of today's conference. We'd like you to all fill out an evaluation form that is on your table. When you leave, turn in your evaluation form to staff. After you fill out your evaluation, we will have our MCs come back on stage to finish out our day. Your credit for your community service hours will be sent to your schools along with your attendance at this event.
Thank you again for sharing this day with us. Let's leave remembering we can now better tackle our future and can all make Bellevue a better place. MCs, we have a special gift from all of us at YouthLink.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. It's cool. Thank you.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our MCs.
Now we'll turn it back over to the MCs for our final closing statement.
Oh, we get the chair. Okay, cool. So I want to thank the City of Bellevue. I'm telling you, we're almost there. City of Bellevue, Youth Link, and the Youth Involvement Committee. Patrick Alina, Glenda Real, and all the city staff and volunteers. Let's give them a huge round of applause.
And a big thank you to all council member, to our honored guests, the workshop speakers, the facilitators, council member Zane, Rhiannon, Amelia, and our presenters. Thank you.
Yeah. Most of all, go forth, do amazing work, okay? Give yourselves another huge round of applause.